Hello, I'm Amy Harbison. Welcome to Seniors Today, a monthly program produced by the Commission on Aging, devoted entirely to issues and interests of Montgomery County seniors. This month, we discover the many services provided to seniors by Montgomery County's public libraries, and we'll meet with a community expert on the Muslim community. But first, I'm very pleased to welcome Montgomery County Consumer Protection Director Irs Friedman, who is here to talk about how to protect the public from scams. Good morning, Irs.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good. Glad to be here.
Well, it seems like we keep hearing more and more about scams, don't we? It seems like every week there's another scam that's brought to the public attention. Can you tell me a little bit about what's new in scams? How many new scams have been out there, and what are the most common complaints you're hearing?
Well, Amy, the only good thing you can say about scammers is that they don't discriminate. They're happy to victimize anybody and everybody, regardless of how old or young you are. And so that's happening in Montgomery County. It's happening throughout the country as well. And we really have to be careful because these scammers are very clever. And if they didn't be so clever, they'd have to have real jobs like the rest of us. And as they say, old scams never die. They just go high tech and they come back in different forms. So we're seeing lots of different scams targeting seniors and everybody in Montgomery County. You know, right now the Irs Phone Scam is a big one. This is when people are called and someone pretends to be the IRS and say that they owe money for taxes, and the sheriff is on their way to arrest them or send them back to whatever country they think that you came from. And they want you to wire money to them. And so what consumers have to realize is that scams are coming to us three different ways, really, through our telephones, through our computers, and through our front doors. That's the kinds of things we have to be careful about.
What comes through the front door at this time of year?
Well, we have a lot of unlicensed contractors knocking on the door, pretending that they have leftover materials from down the block and they can do a good job, or that they saw that there was something wrong with your roof or a tree that needs trimming and things of that sort. And we've seen many very, very sad cases. We had one case in which an unlicensed contractor knocked on the door of a senior, said that they thought that the roof was leaking, went up into the attic, came down with what was supposed to be some wet insulation, when in fact they just had a spray bottle of water, and they pretended that there was something leaking. They charged this senior over $10,000. And luckily we worked together with the police to resolve that issue. In fact, the police officer who first responded to that call went up into the attic and found the spray bottle of water that the crook used to make it look like there was a leak there. So knocking on the door is, we've got people selling meat trucks going door to door, unlicensed contractors of all sorts. So it's things we have to be careful about.
And I would imagine increase of technology may have even made this worse. So what has technology done for scammers to make their job easier? Well,
technology for scammers is a dream come true, because as you say, it's much, much easier now. It used to be somebody had to pick your pocket physically or see you, so you could actually see who the crook was to get your money. Now they can do it from electronically, by email, and if all they have to do is get us to click on something by accident or in error. And so it's very, very easy now for a crook to reach literally millions of people by just sending an email message or a text message. So that's why when we're on our computers doing the internet, we have to be extremely careful never to click something without knowing what we're doing. When we receive an email message, we really don't know who it's from. You know, Amy, right now we'll get messages that look like they're coming from our banks or our credit card company. There are messages that make it look like it's coming from the post office or from Federal Express, saying that there's a package that's been delivered. All sorts of tricks to get us to click on something that we shouldn't. Because as soon as we click on something, you have the possibility of malware coming onto your computer. You have all sorts of problems that can happen. And we certainly never want to give personal financial information in response to an email message that we received without verifying that it actually came from who it came from, and without us really initiating the contact.
So can you give us like 3 great tips for people to just know about or think about when it comes to scams?
Well, when it comes to scams on the computer, never click on something in terms of response. You just cannot do it. When we receive telephone calls, that's a terrible way to do business. Keep in mind that caller ID spoofing is so easy. When we see a number on caller ID, is no way to be sure that it's the correct number. It can make it look like it's coming from a government agency. It can make it look like the call is coming from the IRS, the sheriff's office, the police department. So don't be fooled by that. And just really verify the information. In terms of consumer tips, we also need to check our credit history, our credit reports on an annual basis, if not more frequently than that, because identity theft is rampant, and it's not a matter of if we're going to be the victim of identity theft, it's only a matter of when will it happen. So we want to make sure we're keeping track of our credit reports.
Great. And what if people have a consumer problem or they've been the victim of a scam? What should they do? Who do they call?
Well, Amy, the good news is in Montgomery County we have a very active and vibrant consumer protection office that's here to help consumers. We've been around for about 48 years now. And we're one of only 2 counties in Maryland that has a local office, so just contact our office by email. You can contact us by phone. We have dedicated volunteers and staff investigators who are very knowledgeable in all areas of consumer protection. So we're there to help. No cost to file a complaint with our office, and so I just hope consumers can contact us. We have 240-777-3636 is our phone number. Right. You can go online and reach us by email as well. That's
great. And I'm assuming that you do a lot more than thinking about scams all day. You have a lot of consumer protections that you're concerned about.
Absolutely correct. We do consumer education. We are a law enforcement agency. We license many different businesses in Montgomery County, including auto repair and new home builders. So there's a wealth of information that we have, and consumers don't have to know all the laws. They just know to give us a call, and we'll be glad to help anybody with a problem or even before you have a problem.
Eric, that's great. Well, we could talk to you all day long, I think, about the issues. We'd love to have you back on again to talk about some more consumer protections that you're very much stewarding for us. So we thank you so much for coming on to Seniors Today.
Thanks for the opportunity.
When we come back, we'll take a look at the services provided to seniors by Montgomery County's public libraries. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Did you know there are more than 10,000 county government phone numbers? But there's only one number you need to remember for non-emergency calls: 311. MC311 is Montgomery County government's online telephone information system. Need information? Have a problem or complaint? Trying to locate a county government facility? Call 311. The call center is open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. The website is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
In Montgomery County, we have a goal to reduce waste and recycle 70% of all waste by 2020. By recycling and reducing waste, we save natural resources and make our community even better. So recycle at home, work, school, everywhere, and keep recycling going. For more information, call the Montgomery County, Maryland Division of Solid Waste Services at 311 or visit montgomerycountymd.gov/recycling.
Keep it going.
Recycle more now.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
Welcome back to Seniors Today. Montgomery County Libraries offer a variety of services that enrich the lives of seniors. Joining me to tell us more is Anita Vassallo, Acting Director of Montgomery County Libraries. Welcome, Anita.
Thank you, Amy. I am so pleased to be here because I'd love to talk about libraries.
We're delighted to have you. And the interesting thing is that libraries are no longer, for our communities, just a place to go and get books. It seems like it is such a bigger role in the community. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. I mean, libraries have evolved and changed along with our society. And so we see libraries as, in addition to a place where you can come to get a book or something to read, it's a place to be. Libraries in Montgomery County are open to anyone in the community, free of charge, as always. You can come in, you can meet some friends, you can sit down and use our public computers, you can read a newspaper or look at a magazine and interact with people. You know, some seniors, maybe they don't have family members around, they just want to get out, be around other residents of Montgomery County. Libraries are a great place to do that. We have wonderful staff who help people with anything they need.
Sure do.
You know, still our primary role is helping people find the information that they need to learn and grow, and recreational information also. So, you know, we want people to stop by and use our libraries. We want people to take the materials out, take advantage of our services, and we're never happier than when we have a lot of people of all different ages in our branches.
So you're really still a destination, it seems. I know you have a large number of workshops at any time, and people may not be aware of that. Can you give us an idea of what may be coming up?
We offer a really wide range of things for all ages, but for seniors, we do focus on things that are going to assist them in kind of adjusting to maybe the advances in technology. We have a great 5-week course coming up later in May that is all about digital culture. So it's many different aspects, whether it's Facebook or using your iPhone as a camera, or you want to be able to understand what Twitter is, that seniors can come and register for those. Some other things we have coming up that might be of interest to your viewers are our next Contemporary Conversations event, which will take place May 11th at 7 p.m. at the Chevy Chase Library. The speaker is going to be Bob Levy, which I think a lot of people know him from his long-running column in the Post, Bob Levy's Washington.
Absolutely.
And he's got some fascinating stories of what it was like to be in the Post newsroom during the Watergate scandals.
That'll be
So
great.
he's a great speaker, and I would encourage people to come out to that.
And you said something about, for employment purposes, there's another upcoming workshop.
As we know, 2020 is the census, the next census, and it's an extremely important event for all of us here in Montgomery County, that every resident is counted. So the Census Bureau is very interested in hiring local community residents in order to help them conduct the census. There are workshops at nearly all of the libraries on a monthly basis that can help people find out how to get employment with the census. And
important.
you know, they have a wide variety of jobs they really want to hire. So anyone who's maybe retired but still active, has transportation, should check out our calendar of events and see when these workshops are and get a job with the census.
You know, I was just amazed at the number of book clubs, book discussions that you have. I mean, the topics, the content is so wide-ranging. I think if you can think of a topic, there's a book club discussing it. Who starts those and who runs those programs?
So we do have a very wide range of book clubs. Some of them are focused on a particular genre, like a mystery book club, or books by African American authors. Some of them are in different languages. We have a wide range actually of Spanish book clubs, a Chinese, a Russian. We do one with talking books. So they're often run by volunteers with assistance from library staff in helping them plan the titles, getting the books together, making them available to the people who are going to participate. And of course, you don't have to sign up. You can just come, you can participate, you can just listen. Everyone is welcome, as
What a
always.
great resource. That's really great. I know you have so many more electronic resources available now, too, and you have a new streaming service.
Yeah, we've been rolling out a lot of new streaming services, and of course, this is for community members to use at home, either on their laptop or if they have a smart TV, or what have you. So we have recently rolled out Indie Flix, which is independent movies and films, world films and documentaries. Another one that's very popular is Acorn TV. So Acorn TV is Brit TV. So it's the British mystery programs, you know, those PBS kind of things. And so these are available streaming. You can binge watch the entire series of Midsummer Murders if you so choose, or just dip in and see what's there. Another one that's real fun that we picked up last month is called Quello. And this is music documentaries and concerts. And they go back into the 60s and beyond. So those are really fun for you, you know, to kind of go back and watch something that you loved when you were in college, and you can see the concert that you couldn't afford to go to back then. So yeah, many, many things. And we're always happy in the libraries to help people learn how to access these and use them at home. Very successful. So we're pleased with those.
So people can either call in or they can just come in to learn how to access services?
Sure, we'll help you over the phone, or if you want to stop by, we'll show you how it works and get you set up with an account so that you can take advantage of all these things. And that's really just the tip of what we have, and we're always happy to talk about what's available. And just to remind everybody, everything in the library is free. It's all free. And you just have to be go to school or live or work in the state of Maryland, not necessarily in Montgomery County, or in some jurisdictions in Northern Virginia, because we have reciprocal agreements with a lot of other library systems.
That's great. So what's a good way for people to contact the library if they want to learn more? I'm sure you have a very robust website.
We do. We would love to have people look at our website. We spotlight a lot of our events there. And the navigation, I think, is great. I have a good team who runs that website. And our web address is www.montgomerykountymd.gov/library. Or I think if you just do a Google search for Montgomery County, Maryland, because there are lots of Montgomery County libraries, you will find us. Or, you know, you can look us up and give us a call.
That's great. So people can come into this wonderful community hub, or they can call you for more information and use services at home. That's great. Anita, thank you so much for telling us about what's new at the public libraries. We can't wait to get online. I'm going home and I'm going to start using those new online services right now.
That sounds great.
Thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks for the invitation.
When we come back, we'll close the show today with a look at our county's older adult Muslim community. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
The color in my garden keeps the pink in my cheeks. I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels. They're my savior. My name is Lola Silvestri. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Here's your chance to save money and help the environment. Bring your reusable bag when you shop and you'll save 5 cents for every store bag you don't need. Retailers in Montgomery County charge 5 cents for the plastic or paper bags they provide. Why? Because plastic bags are the biggest single source of stream and waterway litter, causing pollution and flooding. And every year, Montgomery County spends $3 million on cleanup. So do yourself and the environment a favor. Bring your reusable bag when you shop. You'll fight litter and keep the change.
Get there faster. Ride On has a new Route 129 limited stop service running along US 29 corridor. There are convenient park and ride lots along the route where parking is free, getting cars off the road, reducing congestion, which can decrease commute time. Visit rideonbus.com to stay up to the minute with schedules, updates, or delays. The Route 129 limited stop service runs in both directions along US Route 29, just 15 stops from the Burtonsville Park and Ride to the Paul Sarbanes Silver Spring Transit Center with our regular fare of $2. Ride On. Get there faster.
Welcome back to Seniors Today. My next guest has worked nearly 40 years to empower seniors representing diverse communities. Please welcome Mona Negm. Mona.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us
it's
today.
It's a pleasure to be here. It's
Please
a pleasure.
Tell me a little bit about your organization. I know you founded this organization.
Well, absolutely. We started this. It's a young organization. It's called the American Muslim Senior Society, or AMS, and it was established 3 years ago. It's a nonprofit organization focused on health and long-term care. So our mission, we wanted our mission to focus on persons, especially older adults and caregivers who are isolated, underserved, and we wanted to empower them by accessing services and resources that can ensure that they can live with dignity at home, they can age in place. So to do that, we were able to get a small grant from the county executive to help us establish this organization. And what we wanted to do was to start piloting a model project to reach out to those most underserved. And to do that, we selected the Muslim community. And the reason why we selected it was because it's one of the least studied. And its members are among the most diverse. Many of them are underserved, and especially older adults and their caregivers. We know nothing about them. So that's how we started, by focusing on that particular community.
And what do you find are the greatest needs of older adults in the Muslim community?
Well, I just wanted to share with you something, that we don't work by ourselves. We are a model of partnership in action. So we are partnering with a consortium of all the Islamic centers in Montgomery County to help us identify those in need. And then we have partnered with the 17 of the county premier health and long-term care agencies and organizations to help us channel these resources to those most in need. And then we have identified 37 multilingual, multi-talented volunteers who have graduated last year as our outreach ambassadors. And those are the ones who are delivering the services and resources to those most in need. When we held last year 4 community forums to identify the needs of our caregivers and those who are in need of long-term care, we found out that issues were the most important was family, home health care, and then respite care, transportation, and then following that immediately is food security and income security and low-income housing. So those were really
the big
very big issues.
I know the Commission on Aging just had a public forum last month about diverse communities, and you served as a panelist. What is the takeaway, even broader, for diverse communities? What do you think are the biggest needs that we're facing right now?
Of course, access to services is a huge problem, especially for people who are first-generation immigrants and have so many different barriers, including language and culture and all sorts of barriers. But isolation.
Social isolation.
Because of lack of access, and Montgomery County has a wealth of resources, but to access these resources to those most in need and those who are isolated, and those who, is a challenge. So isolation becomes an issue that has to be, that seems to be across the line.
And so you're serving as a bridge, really, to help.
Absolutely.
To help people get the services. The services exist, but they don't know how to access them.
It's how to access them.
Okay.
Exactly.
Wonderful. And also, I understand you're instituting a scholarship program.
Yeah, we're very excited about it. We're very excited, and we have a shortage of home health aide and certified nurses assistants who speak the language and understand the culture of people who are in that particular community. So what we are offering is we are working again in partnership with the business community to raise scholarship funds so that we could have 25 community members who are multilingual, multicultural, get the training as CNAs, and this way, and of course they're low income, certified nurses assistants. I'm sorry, and then this way they could have a career, a quality of life, an income on a regular basis, but also serve the need, you know, fill in a gap that is much needed. And this is something that we would like to do on a regular basis, once a year, develop its manpower development or workforce development. We want to encourage more members of the community to come forward so we can give them that kind of training and fill in these gaps.
That's great. So it sounds like it's a win-win both for the people who get certified and also
for the community,
for
the community. And I wanted to talk about how we're going to reach out to the interfaith community.
Okay. Yeah,
and so what we are trying to do is take the model that we have developed and begin, and we are, this year, we are reaching out to churches and synagogues, and we are trying to, and we are developing a program called Getting to Know You. And Getting to Know You is a way of us sharing with them what we have been able to develop in terms of resources and knowledge. And of course, many of the churches and synagogues are much more advanced than we are. So we are there to learn and see if we could build bridges of partnerships and collaborative supportive work in the future. And then hopefully between, you know, begin to build bridges of also understanding between our seniors, young and older members of our community as well. We, you know, our seniors are members of extended families. So whatever affects the senior affects the family as a whole. So it's the whole family engagement. So we want to engage families with the interfaith families as well. And
that's great. Breaking down
barriers. Breaking down barriers.
So tell us, how do people learn more about this new organization in the community?
Well, you know, you can check our website, the American Muslim Senior Society. You will find it under www.AMSS, MD.org. So if you could check our website, please feel free to call me. I'll give you my number. It's 301-785-3752. We have lots of resources to share. We promote the county health and long-term care resources and caregiver resources. So anything that you want us to do for you and for your senior and for your caregiver, please give us a call. It will be our pleasure.
Mona, it was a pleasure having you today. Thanks for all you do for our diverse communities in the county, and we look forward to having you again.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
Thank you.
Well, that's it for this month's Seniors Today. Don't forget that you can access this show and a great deal of information about county services for seniors by going to the Montgomery County Senior website at montgomerycountymd.gov/seniors or call the Senior Resource Line at 240-777-3000. And as always, thank you for watching Seniors Today.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.